Hey guys, this is just a video concerning the Feast of Tabernacles and a 40-day warning countdown. So the Feast of Tabernacles, a full feast in which we remember the time that we were wandering in the wilderness, sleeping in tents for 40 years. And so the feast is to remember that basically, and so people dwell in tents for 7 days. The first day of Tabernacles is a Sabbath, a holy rest day, and the 8th day of Tabernacles is a Sabbath, a holy rest day also. And also what I've just seen as well, so the reason I've made another video is that also my star VESTA makes its final loop. If I can just get this up somewhere. There you go, my star VESTA also went from making its Aquarian loop, dragging the Aquarians, which is the crown, which it happened now where they're sort of all up in my shit basically, and then it makes a turn there and it is on the Feast of Tabernacles, which it makes its another turn in the heavens. So it's makes me feel sort of a bit of significance towards this Feast of Tabernacles, and you can join us there on Facebook, it says on this post, so click on that link. If you go to Facebook and type in Feast of Tabernacles, you get Sukkot, so you can join it on Facebook if you want. Another thing is, you'll notice that I put down 10 AM, but this is just habit, because when the throne of God does hit on the 6th seal, he's going to make the sun go down at noontime in Israel. Well, noontime in Israel is 10 AM UK time, so it's kind of like a habit of mine that mostly any full moon that I've got a marker on, that on the preparation day of that, because the throne of God passed over on the preparation day. It wasn't the first day of Passover, which is the Sabbath, which is the full moon as well. It was the day before. It was the preparation day. Usually, let's say, Feast of Tabernacles will start on the 9th, the evening of the 9th. Now, let's say the throne of God was to pass over on Tabernacles, yeah? Well, the throne of God will actually pass over at 10 AM on the preparation day of the 9th, not the evening or the day after, because Jesus was crucified the day before the feast began, the preparation day. So it would be literally 10 AM at 9 on the 9th, which is the preparation day, which could even be the day before for other parts of the world. So that's just a habit anyway, but I'm not saying that the throne of God's going to pass over this Feast of Tabernacles, but it can happen in any full moon, so we can't discount it. But obviously now it's a 40-day run-up. I suppose if the Antichrist was to be crowned in the next 10 days or whatever, then yeah, we would be on for the Feast of Tabernacles passing. But to be honest, it would actually be the most perfect time for God to pass over on the Feast of Tabernacles, you know, because let's say these people keeping the feasts, which some people preach against keeping the feasts, but let's say people keeping this feast and they go into the wilderness, because you cannot camp in cities and towns, you have to go up into the wilderness and camp. And let's say people did that and they didn't know anything about the seals, and they didn't know anything about they weren't keeping watch of the earthquakes rising or anything else, but they kept Sukkot, they kept the Feast of Tabernacles, and they pitched their tents, you know, or they went to pitch their tents on the full moon on on the 14th day of the 7th month of the biblical year, then they would actually physically be saved just by their actions. Because like I said, you know, you can't pitch into cities, and most cities will be devoured by the first passing of the throne. So you'd have to go into the wilderness and pitch your tent for keeping Sukkot. And, you know, that would literally be how you'd live. Because when the throne passes, people are going to have to flee into the wilderness, where there is not much stuff. So you'd have to really take your tabernacle. You wouldn't be able to take your caravan or your mobile home or anything like that in reality, because then it would just be gridlocked, and you might not even get your caravan to an Exodus spot when the throne of God does pass, because, like I say, it could just be all gridlocked. So, yeah, I mean, Feast of Tabernacles be a good preparation for when the throne does pass, and or always keep your eyes open just in case, because let's say seal number 1, the Antichrist being crowned king, let's say that happened in the next 10 days, then we'd be on for Sukkot, we'd be on for the Feast of Tabernacles as being the passing, because like I told you before, it's like 40 days, 30 to 40 days would be the time of the seals happening. It'd be very, very fast. So anyway, but I invite you to keep Sukkot wherever you are. I'm not saying about going to any certain place, but Feast of Sukkot, just to camp for 7 days. 7 days. So I've been Pastor Prophet Justin Roberts from End of the Age Bible Prophecy. God bless you all. Amen.